Alright. Should be good now. Okay, I got this plastic. Why does it do that? Alright, I got this plastic mixed up earlier before I started this. So, yeah, we should be good. I'm just gonna start off with like 8 ounces, so a cup. Maybe a little bit more than just that. And now, let's just toss this guy into the microwave. Start with 3 minutes. Actually, 2.5. Start with 2.5 minutes. And we'll get our injector ready. Just pop that guy out, just like that. This injector, we cleaned it in the last live, so all it needs is some worm oil on the seal. Get that ready, like so. And same with this side. Maybe. There we are. Now that that's ready, we also need to decide a color that we want to do. Let some people join in here. Probably put the clamps on this while we're waiting. Let's see, this should be the Senko mold. Nope, that's the grub mold. I need to go grab the Senko mold. Alright, now we got Senko's. Put our clamps on this guy. All our plastics in the microwave. And then we should be ready to figure out what color we want to do. And you guys get to choose the color. So there we are. Definitely choose the color if you guys want to. Stay tuned. Y'all can choose what color you want in there. Our plastic has about 5 seconds left, and we'll get it out, get it stirred up, and see how we're looking. There it is, it's done. So, for you guys that are not into bait making, let's move this mold out of the way. This is what we call, well, not even to gel phase yet. So it's starting to cook, because you can see it's kind of discolored a little bit in some areas. But we're gonna put this back in the microwave, and then I'll show you guys what gel phase is after another minute or so of being in the microwave. And then I'll show you guys the colors we want. If you guys want to choose Ace with the TV head, welcome to the stream. So here is the colors. If you want to choose them, you can do that since you're the first person in the chat. But if not, that's okay. We've got, this one's pretty cool. It's called Blue Craw, but I've made a lot of it. So whatever you guys want, choose, and I will do it. And yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's a color that I have not done before. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of colors I haven't done before, but y'all just let me know in the chat what colors you guys want to see in these 5-inch Senkos that we're going to be making during this live. Perfect timing. So this is what you call gel phase. A little bit past it, but You can see here, you guys can see that. It's kind of like a jelly. Let me get a glove on so I can hold this real quick. But it's kind of like a jelly. I don't know what you want to call it. But it's exactly what the name is. It's gel. It's not fully liquid yet, so I'm gonna go and throw this back in the microwave. It only needs another 30 seconds to get, yeah, it's already at 320, so technically it's cooked, but probably needs about 30 to 40 more seconds is what I was gonna say. So let's go 30 seconds, just so then it's hot enough so when it goes into the vacuum chamber, it is, well, hot enough for when it goes into the vacuum chamber. Drake Ross says blue craw. I would love to do blue craw, but let's see. We'll try and get some other opinions in the chat because I've made a ton of blue craw lately. So we'll see. I also have an order that I'm probably going to be placing pretty soon for a bunch more colors. I'm going to be getting like a blue pigment, and I'm going to be getting a bunch of highlight powders like purple highlight, green highlight, red highlight, and blue highlight. And then I'm also going to be getting like a white pearl that we can add, and then hopefully get some molds soon. But I got to save up the money for the molds because that's where it gets expensive. The glitters and stuff are not near as expensive. But the molds are definitely expensive. So we're going to throw this into the vacuum chamber. And make sure your lid's centered so it doesn't pop off. Close our valve. And then turn the chamber, get all the bubbles out. You can see, pressure's going up there. And we'll get all the bubbles out. All the bubbles are definitely rising to the top. It's almost there. And now that all those bubbles have rose to the top, we'll be able to turn off our vacuum chamber and make the color. That's about right when you want to turn it off. At least for my vacuum chamber, that's how it works. Then you just crack this valve, let it out, and once you pull the plastic out, there will be no bubbles in it. Definitely want to slowly let the plastic or the air out of the chamber so that it does not reverse the process almost. And then once it's down to the bottom, you should be able to pull your lid off. And the plastic has some tiny bubbles on top, but those are just from moving the plastic around. They're not moisture bubbles or anything. So, and they'll rise to the top as we get making this color. I'm probably going to stir in some bubbles just from stirring. But other than that, we should be able to make a color. Alright, so comment what color you guys want to see so we can get going on making this color. I might just have to decide one because the plastic's hot right now. Well, it's at 3:30, so I'm going to give it 15 seconds in the microwave, and then we'll be ready to make a color. I think that I want to make something with red. I don't know. I think a red color would look really good. So we might go ahead and do something like that. I wish I had blue to do, but I do not. So, or green pumpkin. We could try green pumpkin again. Chartreuse. Let's actually, you know what we're gonna make? Let's make a color called chartreuse pepper. It's super simple. Chartreuse colorant with black flake. Black flake, just like that. Let's go ahead and get to making this color right here. Gonna need a ton of chartreuse because it's super see-through. Then mix this in. It's still even not enough. As you can see on the knife, it's super see-through. Like, you can barely even tell if there's anything on there. So let's go back in a little bit more. Next chartreuse I buy will definitely be a little bit more opaque. This one's super see-through. Let's go with another squirt, and then we should be good to go. The black flake will definitely darken it up as well. That should be good there. Let's add a scoop of black flake, and we should be good to go. Stir this in. You guys see this? And you can see how much it kind of darkened up that color. See how it looks over here. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think we need some more color in there? I think I'm gonna go in with a little bit more. Definitely more. Man, this color's super hard to get, what do you want to call it? Opaque enough. It's super see-through, but I think I'm liking this. Should give us some good color in these worms. This is definitely going to be like a darker watercolor that you're going to want to fish with because how bright it is. But to me, that's exactly what we want. As you can see right there. That's exactly what we want. Let's get this back to the temperature and let's get it shot into our 5-inch Senko mold. Close this up so I don't spill it everywhere. Let's check the temp on this. 274, let's go 30 seconds and see where that gets us. And we should be kind of close here. Let's clean up our mess. Yeah, I don't even know, to be honest, if that even is going to be enough plastic. I mean, enough color in the plastic. Still fairly see-through. If it's not, we'll remelt it and we'll add some more. But we're going to see how this first one turns out. And then, once it's done in the microwave, let's get our gloves on. Stay tuned to see how this one turns out. But let's get this out of here. Check the temp, 345, perfect. Maybe if I can get the knife off the table. That's just the surface temperature, so let's actually go in for a quick 10-second shot in the microwave. 10 seconds in the microwave, and then we're gonna shoot this into our mold. Ten seconds in the microwave. We're not even gonna waste any time checking the temp. We are just gonna stir it so the flake suspension's good. Throw out the whole bait. Grab our injector. And slowly but surely inject these into some 5-inch Senkos. Hold some pressure. Fill up our sprue. Empty out the rest of the injector. We'll have to clean that later. Pop this in the microwave so it kind of stays warm. And then we'll see what these look like. In about 2 to 3 minutes, we'll see how these guys turn out. This is what we have before. This is what we made. It's called chartreuse pepper. There it is in the sprue. We might have to top it off, but it should be pretty good. Let's clean out this injector. Still pretty warm, but take off the end. And then this is a good representation of what this color will look like in the worms. If you guys can see that. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I think it should be enough color. I was a little bit worried that it wouldn't be quite thick enough. Wouldn't be quite enough color in there, but I think it should work out fairly well. Let's get this out just to top this off. There's that right there. Make a giant mess. But in literally like another minute, these will be good to look at and we'll be able to see what we got. Stay tuned for that. Should be. Yeah, the plastic on the side is fairly cured. That's the word I was looking for. And the mold's really not that hot anymore. So let's get these guys out of this mold and show you guys what they look like. Yeah, these look really good. This is chartreuse pepper. Let me know what you guys think of it. Here, let me flip this over and we'll take these out. I think it looks really good. The light colors like this really bring out if you have any bubbles in your plastic, which looks like, if it wants to focus, you can see I had a bubble there. And this one has bubbles all over it. So if I was to sell these, obviously I would not sell one with bubbles in it. But here's the color that we're making today. These look really good. Could maybe use even a little bit more color in there. But honestly, I think I'm gonna stick with it. I like the way it looks. We're just gonna keep pumping these out. Yeah, these look really good. In the water, they're gonna look good. Super bright. And I'll show you guys them in the water in 1 second. So I get those out of the way. That's what they look like in the water. Kind of like a lime green almost. Yeah, let me put them in the sun. That's what they look like in the sun. Chartreuse pepper. That's the color for the day. All right. Should clean this injector out before I try and make some more. Through the vacuum chamber one more time, just to kind of get a few of those bubbles out. But I'm gonna heat it back up first, obviously, before we get it in there. Don't know why there's so many bubbles in this today, but I did, yeah, I mean, it hasn't been super humid here, so might just be a few moisture bubbles is all. Let's give it 30 seconds in the microwave. Now that's going, we'll get it back into the vacuum chamber. There's that, plastic's done. Now let's see what I got here. Seeds. All right. Get a quick temp on this. 344. Throw it in the microwave. In the vacuum chamber. And then just to get a little bit more of those bubbles out, I think we can do a little bit better. A couple of runs in here should help us out a lot. Then we'll throw it back in the microwave. There you go. You can see those bubbles rising to the top in there. And now we should be pretty much good. Should be a lot less bubbles in here. Once the pressure goes back down, we'll take it out of the vacuum chamber and then get it back in the microwave and get these injected. In the first round it came out pretty good, but there was a few bubbles, so I just wanted to run it through here again to see if we could get those bubbles out. Let the pressure go back down. And we'll take this back out of here. Definitely a lot less bubbles in there. As you can see, no bubbles, 319. Let's put it back in our microwave for 20 seconds, and then we'll be good to inject these. They should be up to temperature by then, so it'll be good to inject these and get them going. Boom. Done in there. 330 on the surface, so still not quite hot enough to put these in the injector. So we need the internal temperature to be 350, and if the surface is only 340, then the internal is probably 330. So let's try another 20, and then we'll see if we can get these guys injected into the mold. Here, I'll maybe set these back here so you guys can kind of see what the first ones look like. I think the first round looks pretty good. It's kind of hard to see them from that angle, but plastic's done. Let's get a temp on these guys. 357 on the top, so the internal's probably 345 to 350. Feels good. Let's grab our injector. Got a little bit of air in there. Move this plastic back here. Hold some pressure. And there we go. I don't know how those turned out, to be honest, because I had a little bit of air in the injector, but we'll have to see in a few minutes. Let's see here. Sorry, I can't see the chat. I am from the United States. I don't really want to disclose where I'm at on the internet. I don't know why I'm weird about that, but top off our sprue so we get that first bait so it can fill completely. And then once the mold cools in about 2 minutes, we should be good to go. So I'm going to clean out this injector. Still is fairly warm, but we can kind of get a preview. Ooh, that's still pretty hot. Preview of what the color is going to look like. Should look something like this. This guy still got some bubbles in it. I have to work on that side of things, but there's a random red flake in there. That's funny. Flake suspension looks pretty good. Looks like we got it stirred up enough well enough before we injected it. So the baits will have even flake around the whole thing and not just flake on one side. Color still looks good. Doesn't look burnt or anything like that. Looks the same. You can see looks the same from the first to the second. But mold's pretty warm, so we'll let it keep on cooling down. We'll keep this injector lubricated so we don't have any mishaps. Because these injection mold or injection like this can sometimes blow back in your face if you don't have them, if you don't take care of your injector. But this is still really hot. I'm just gonna use a glove. There we go. See, just typical worm oil you can buy at from anybody that makes bait making stuff. They all carry this worm oil. I got mine from Dead on Plastics and then just literally put it in like a ketchup bottle that you'd find at the store, and it works really good. I am looking at the chat. Hello, I am a little late. I was cleaning my dirt bike when we were riding yesterday. All good. I just got done cleaning my dirt bike because I also went to a PulpMX ride day yesterday. But we're making chartreuse pepper for you guys that are just tuning in. I am looking at the chat. This is what we got in our first run. Chartreuse pepper in the Senkos. I just made 60 stick baits and 40 craws for a bait shop I'm in. Jeez. That's a lot of plastic right there. What colors did you mainly do them in?